What's up, y'all?
Yo,
We are joined today by a very special individual, Mr.
Did
Zachary
I
Nichie.
join the wrong Zoom meeting?
You're here, man. This is the right one.
What's up, boys?
This
Happy
is
to be on.
WG episode number 8 of the
Luke
second.
pouring up that drink.
I was refilling my water bottle, pouring up that drink.
We got Dante in the
That's
Oklahoma
hydrated,
State
man.
shirt.
Shout out Des Bryant.
Yeah, he's rocking a team.
Oh,
That's
Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is nice.
he's
thought that was
rocking
a
a team
brown
that's
shirt
going to
at
win
first.
a college football game this weekend. You know,
I thought that was a brown shirt at first, but then I connected those dots in a second.
I mean, look at the boy, dude. That's so fire.
That is pretty sick, but you can see with the colors but
Oh yeah.
Hard to go wrong with a vintage t-shirt.
Never.
I like it, Dante. You know, they're going to win this weekend, unlike the other college team you normally wear around.
I don't know, man. You know,
like
our defense, man. Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm nervous for that game. I'm so nervous from the Buckeye point of view.
Maybe I'll just wear this at him. Maybe I'll just wear.
You think this is the make or break for James Franklin?
Maybe.
Yeah,
probably. This is the best quarterback and defense we've had in years.
Exactly. If there's a year for Penn State to beat Ohio State, this is the year.
do you not have a Ohio State hat here?
No, I can't have that here.
I was gonna pull it out and say, unlike this team, that's gonna lose this week. Yeah, I don't think it's quite make or break for James Franklin, just because they wouldn't do anything, they wouldn't make any crazy decisions until at least Drew Aller is in the NFL.
Yeah, right.
But this is the year. This is the year where it comes down to, for all of time, it feels like, for my whole life, there's been bad teams. There's been 10-2 Penn State, and then a huge gap, and all the playoff teams.
Mm-hmm.
And we've never been able to bridge that gap. But this year, every other playoff team, new quarterback. So do we have one, but Drew Aller is as good as any of them.
Yeah.
This really should be the year. No excuses. We should go 11-1. Whoever that one is fine with me. If we lose to Michigan or Ohio State, and even if we go 11-1 and miss the playoffs, I'd be okay with that. But we could make the playoffs, and I want to make the playoffs before it expands.
Yeah.
Because if you make the playoffs as a 9 seed in 2 years, that it's just gonna feel, until it's gonna take some getting used to, but it's gonna feel cheap. Okay, we can make the real playoffs, and we're just gonna get spanked by whoever did. So I want to make the playoffs this year, and I think we should be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think, knock on wood, for the first time, Penn State does have the advantage at the quarterback position.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Although
there's no debate there.
Yeah.
None. Yeah.
Although I've been to 3 Penn State games, they haven't needed to, but James Franklin doesn't let him cook. 75% of our plays are run plays.
But whenever we're stalling this episode so much, but whenever you have Nick Singleton and Katron Allen back there,
that's why I would say you don't need them. We just won 63-0, so you don't need to pass.
You also did play UMass though, but anyway, that's beside the point. I can't wait. I'm pumped for Saturday. This is the most confident I've been against Ohio State in a really long time. But yeah, we'll see.
This is a football podcast, so we had to
I'll watch college football much, but this is a game that I'm actually going to sit back and watch. Because
I was going to say, this is the most nervous I've been for this game ever as an Ohio State fan, I think.
You guys going to wear any cool uniforms? You always pull out something.
I think we're going all red because it's a scarlet out. So I think we're going all red like we did the last time you guys played at the shoe.
Scarlet out. They think they're
Except this is a noon game. It's not a night game.
Yeah.
They think the white out.
Trying to be Penn State so hard.
Every school tries to replicate it. Nobody can.
Yeah, nobody can replicate the white
Well,
out.
freaking Penn State Stadium holds 100,000. How much does Ohio State's hold? 90?
Almost as much. Maybe 10,000.
Almost? Oh, okay.
But
It's close.
yeah, the whiteout was, I think, over 120,000 people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was one of them. It was worth going. So.
Oh yeah. Anyway, let's get
On
into
to
it.
the NFL, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
All
go.
right. Shall we begin?
To
Yes.
reestablish our friend Nichie, you are a Steelers fan, so you're gonna
Yes.
have opinions of that realm.
Finally.
Yeah, I have a lot to get off my chest, but I'll leave that for when I'm called upon and I'm allowed to speak. So
Oh, you're allowed to speak
All right.
whenever, man. You're one of the boys.
Let's
Beauty
go.
of
so
fourth person.
what do I talk about? Like
We'll get
just
into it. We'll talk about it.
like my state of the union right now of
Yeah.
the Steelers. What's going
Well,
on?
We'll talk about that. I mean, if you want to right now, go for it. Whatever you want to.
No. If you guys have other plans, go.
I would say we would
Well-
probably start with getting into last week's games, but
I was going to say,
Steelers were on a bye.
before we go, I know your thoughts on a very specific individual.
I don't even refer to him as his name because he don't deserve to have a name.
The one who shall not be named.
Totally fair.
Exactly. That's who he's referred to as. But,
All right. Well,
Well,
wanna dive
before we
into
get into next week's games, given that the Steelers were on a bye, I would love to hear your guys' opinions on going forward, how you expect. I'm not sure who the Steelers play next week.
the
Rams.
Rams.
Oh,
In
that's
LA.
right. That's gonna be a great game. We can get into that. But going forward, how do you guys feel? We're 1/3 of the way through the year. So
Pretty much. Yeah.
a third of the way through the year, we probably know that Matt Canada isn't going to get fired during the season, as much as we all would like him to. So,
as I predicted.
yeah, State of the Union. How do you guys feel, Dante or Nichie?
Niche, go first.
Me? Oh, thanks, man. Okay. It's been bumpy, had ups and downs, but once again, we find ourselves at 3-2, not completely terrible, even though we have looked terrible at some points, mostly on the offensive side of the ball. But this is just typical Steelers play right now. Just close games, just finding ways to win. And that's what we've become famous for. And these past few years, even though it bothers me that we can't, maybe have a game where we show that we're clearly the better team. But I guess I have to go to the offense. It's been frustrating. It's been confusing. I think those are the two big words that come to mind when you think of the offense. Obviously, you hoped Kenny would be in a better spot statistical wise when the season started. Obviously, year 2, you want to see the jump. And there's been some things that really hasn't made sense to maybe his fault and maybe not to his fault when you look into it. Obviously, with the play calling and the constant repetitive plays. Obviously, the Houston game, Steven Nelson on the pick was like they ran that same play last week. We knew it was coming, so that type of stuff is frustrating. But if you can take any positives out of this, it's obviously one, George Pickens in week 5 was a monster. Absolute monster. Like they kept running the same exact play and it did not matter at all. Dude has hands of glue. The same exact play. And I was like, at that point, like I don't like them running the same play, but if it's to him, just throw it up to him. I don't care if there's 3 guys on him, just throw him the ball. And Jaylen Warren is starting to make that backfield discussion a lot more significant as the season goes on. He pretty much willed the Steelers to victory, was the spark plug that game. And then, of course, the play to GP, the deep ball one-on-one, and he burnt Marlon Humphrey, and that won you the game. But that sort of game, fourth quarter, their best play came out. That's what you want to see, fourth quarter's winning time. And they got the job done like any typical Pittsburgh-Baltimore game. They got it done no matter how ugly it looked. The defense, once again, it hasn't been what you would hoped for obviously statistical wise. But one thing you know is TJ Watt is probably the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year right now. And
easily.
I want to hear any Myles Garrett or Micah Parsons. It's TJ Watt, and I don't think it's close. He has pretty much, I think he has 8 sacks right now, which he's now tied for the league lead. But he's been TJ Watt, and when TJ Watt plays, the Steelers win. And I can make a whole debate of how he could probably be the most important non-QB in the league, but that's a discussion for another day. But he's been great. Alex Highsmith, the guy you paid, he's looking like a great Robin to TJ's Batman. And what has stood out to me has been the linebacker play. I feel the linebacker. It hasn't been, astronomically better, but it's been better when you compare it to a Miles Jack, Devin Bush. Especially in the fourth quarter of the Baltimore game, Landon Roberts, Quan Alexander, Cole Holcomb have all made big plays. I'm starting to really love Quan. That dude just flies around the field. He don't care. He runs around like his head's on fire, making hits left and right. And he feels like the guy that we need, whether it's stop the run or go out in a pass co. He's been great. So the defense, hopefully they keep it up, because obviously we're going to need them a lot. But other thing on defense, play JPJ, man. Just get him out there and play him. Like, what is it going to take for us to start these freaking rookies, man? Like, I want to hear development process again. You drafted these guys, you invested in these guys, you know they are your future. Get them out on the field and play, because they're not going to develop standing on the sideline. So that's my thing. I play the young guys, find something to click on offense, and hopefully the defense can, sustain, improve down the line here. And we know it's a tight division now after what just happened. All the teams in the AFC North won this week when we were on bye, so it just got a lot tighter. So each game's going to mean more and more. So yeah, just gotta find ways to win.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't think it should be a hot take. You have to play your rookies. I mean, there's one thing to put them on a track for a development process, which is if you have veterans, which you thought you would have had to think that Patrick Peterson would be better, and he has been. There's one thing is playing those guys behind the veterans, and you take 20% of the snaps this week. We put you on the star matchup 5% of the time. You watch who's in the slot 10% of the time. Whatever you want to do, you make it a process. You make it a calculated decision. There's another thing that's just not playing them, which I think even the worst thing is Broderick Jones not playing. But
yeah,
especially when it comes to Joey Porter Jr. Maybe he will play more this week. I haven't really read up on that, but especially now, he has nothing more to prove after that interception, the game-winning interception. That's literally all you could ask for. He needs to play. And there's, like I said, there's going through a calculated process. There's not playing a guy. And there's kind of what the Patriots did with Christian Gonzalez, throwing him in immediately. He guarded A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill. He got an interception on Tyreek Hill. And week 3, he locked down Garrett Wilson. Then he got hurt. He's out for the year. So if we played him less, I would prefer he still be out there right now. But I think if you have a star like that, and I think the Steelers really do have a star in JPJ. I don't know enough about Broderick Jones. Yeah. Clearly, they haven't played him enough for us to figure it out. But you guys have a star. You need to play him.
Yeah, well, obviously we started Broderick this week and 0 pressures allowed. Him and Isaac Seumalo, I think, according to PFF, were like our top 2 highest graded offensive linemen that game. And you see Dan Moore, a report come out, Dan Moore still comes back. He's still at the ones, which is frustrating because the offensive line's a lot better when Broderick Jones is out there. So it really makes no sense why you take him out. And then or heck, put Dan Moore at right tackle and then put Broderick Jones at left tackle. Even I don't think Dan Moore's great, but I mean I'd be fine with that even. But yeah, then the JPJ, they keep saying each week his workload is going to go up more and more incrementally. So, but you need to play these guys, plain and simple. Like, I know Odell isn't what he used to be, but JPJ locked him up. There was not a spot you could have thrown that ball for any chance for Odell to catch it. So it's frustrating, but I've come used to it as a Steer fan. I just try to be patient and just trust them. But if they're so big on iron sharpens iron, why not put them out against Cooper Kupp this week and see what he got? Put him on Puka Nacua a little bit, because I'm scared. I'm really scared for who we're going to put on those two this week, because God only knows how many yards they put up if Levi Wallace and Pat Peter on them. So
I think you should definitely put him on Puka Nacua this week. I don't know who you guys have to even put on Cooper Kupp. Put 3 guys on Cooper
and I don't
Kupp.
think it'll even, he's too good. I don't think it'll even matter who we put on him. He's still going to get his. So
Dante,
yeah.
any complimenting thoughts on all that?
Well, Nichie made plenty of great points regarding the current state of our team. But I want to start out with a statement that might be surprising to a lot of people, but I think our offense is only going to get better as the year goes on.
I do agree with that to a degree.
Mainly,
yeah, I agree to that to a degree.
Yeah. I mean, if you looked at our game, against the Ravens, our offense did look better. It didn't look outstanding. It didn't look top 16 in the league, but it looked better. You saw we utilized Jalen Warren a lot more, and you saw that one drive, and I'm sure Niche saw it, that those 3 plays in a row where Warren was just looking like prime Saquon Barkley at Penn State.
Oh, I saw him. I was at the game. So,
yeah, I'm very sure you saw it. But those were insane. You saw the hurdle. I mean, I was telling my folks and my friends that he's looking like Saquon Barkley at Penn State with the hurdle, then getting hit, staying up. Jalen Warren has been a bright spot in this offense. And another reason why I think we're going to get better is we have 2 difference makers coming back this week in Deontay Johnson, great receiver. Contrary to popular belief, for those who call him Deontay Dropson, but that's besides the point. And then Pat Freiermuth, my favorite Steeler. Very glad he's back. Hopefully we utilize him more. So yeah, I think the offense is going to get better. The defense is going to be the defense. I mean, we've been one of the most consistent units in the league on that side of the ball. But yeah, I'm very optimistic about this team. So yeah, we'll see how we play this week. I think this coming game against the Rams is going to be a good baseline for how we are going to perform for the rest of the year. But
it is, and I think I kind of, for the Steelers, not to interrupt you, I look at this game against the Rams. You guys will do just fine. But I look at it in the moment, how I looked at Patriots Saints before what happened.
Sure.
We lost 34-0. But I thought it was going to be the kind of game where, like, okay, at that point, I would have put the Patriots on about the same level as the Saints and throw them at each other and see what happens. And I think Steelers, obviously we know what happened in that Patriots game. But Steelers Rams, I think, is going to be a lot like that. 2 offenses that have had some growing pains. I think the Steelers are still due for some growing pains. I don't think that's to anybody's disagreement or surprise. As long as you have Matt Canada, there's going to be some friction in that offense. It's not going to be as smooth as it needs to be. But the Steelers, better than half the teams in this league, find ways to win. That is what Mike Tomlin does. It's what the defense does. I'm not going to say you guys will lock your way into wins, but man, like 2 weeks ago, the Ravens there's almost no way you guys should have won that game, but somehow you still pulled it out. It seems like Steelers games are always like that. So I do think that there is a legitimate chance the Steelers pull out the win this week.
It's crazy when you think about it, how well we've played against Lamar. Like, well, obviously there were plays in that game where the Ravens wide receivers dropped 8 balls. That game should not have been like that at all. Like Rashad Bateman dropped a ball right in front of me, and I'm like, how do you drop that? Like, but that's how it goes sometimes in the NFL. So I digress. But going back to Deontay, though, like, yeah, I understand the points against him about how he's really not that good as like us fans put him as, but he gets open. And this offense needs a guy that can get open. Just the way he runs routes, you need that right now, especially since Matt Canada loves his quick passes, his slant routes, or whatever the heck he writes up. You need Deontay out there just for his route running. Just for his route running alone. And I go ahead, Dante. Go ahead.
And not to mention, having him back takes a lot of pressure off guys like Allen Robinson, who I think has been like he has exceeded my expectations, making big plays on third down. I've loved the way A-Rob has played, and a rookie, an essential rookie in Calvin Austin. I mean, you see him make big plays deep. I think if we put him as a slot receiver, he can make huge plays. But having Deontay back is going to open up the playbook a little bit more for us It's
just, you need him. You just need a guy to get open right now because, I mean, GP, like, he still makes plays. I know this, like, he don't get open that much. That's his thing, but he just makes plays. Like, it don't matter if there's 2 guys on him, he'll catch the ball. If he does that, I don't care how many yards of separation he creates to get open. If he does that, I'm fine with it. That's why you have Deontay. And I agree with you with Muth too. I think Muth needs to be used more. Your tight end, third down. I always say, what player should you be targeting on third down? Your tight end. And you have a great one in Muth. Yes, the run blocking does need help. He hasn't been that great this year run blocking, but maybe he was not healthy because he just came off an injury. Hopefully he's maybe recovered. That was maybe bothering him too. And Jaylen Warren, going back to him, like this guy's like 5'8", strong as a freaking ox. Like this dude turns a -3 yard check down into a 5 yard gain. Like he's just so elusive, so shifty. The way he just creates plays when he gets the ball, and Najee has looked better. And I know everyone's saying to trade him, but like right now, I like the 2-headed monster with him and Warren. Najee, yes, he's kind of slow, but the offensive line hasn't done him much favors either. So if I can just see Najee look more confident these upcoming weeks and just Warren to do his thing, I'd be fine with that.
And I will, before we move on to the other guys, in your opinion on your teams, I saw this video, and I don't know if you guys saw it, and I saw Browns fans on Twitter. And if you guys know me, you guys, the viewers, watch the show, you know how I feel about the Cleveland Browns. But they said it was about the Myles Garrett versus TJ Watt debate. And someone said that Myles Garrett has been better against the Steelers than TJ Watt has been against the Browns. Let me just read you these stats via StatMuse. We'll start with Myles Garrett. He has 24 solo tackles, 10 tackle assists, 7 sacks in 11 games versus the Steelers. If we go to TJ Watt has 42 solo tackles, 17 assists, 16 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 interception in the same amount of games versus the Browns in his career. I just wanted to put that out there.
He's doubled him up in every single category.
I mean,
you guys know my stance on this debate. I talked about it so much in the group chat and like everything. And when I hear it, I just laugh at it because it honestly makes me just sick, and I'm just sick and tired of talking about it because it's just, I don't know what PFF like has on Myles Garrett, but it makes me just go like this every time I see it and just nod my head no. I'm like, dude, what game are you watching? Like, it's really unbelievable how they come up with that. And like, yeah, it's crazy. There's no debate.
I think the only thing that people can point to are the physical tools. Like, oh, look at Myles Garrett.
Exactly.
He's 2 inches taller. He has 2 inches of more of width on his biceps. But come on, it's not getting him any more.
You get what is 9% against his
and like Dan Moore stinks, but if there's a man he can block on this earth, it is Myles Garrett. He is the Myles Garrett assassin, Dan Moore.
It's not even like we have Trent Williams. We have Dan Moore.
Yeah, like, and Dan Moore can't guard a third string edge rusher, but put Myles Garrett out there, he turns into Trent. He turns into Trent Williams. There's nowhere for him to go.
Literally. All right, enough of the Steelers.
Right, well, I enjoyed that. Maybe let's take a very quick look at the rest of last week's games. We can elude 10 seconds of the ones we don't care about and 30 seconds of the ones we do before moving on to the next games. You got that lineup for us, Adam?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Chiefs won Thursday Night Football. Never was going to be a debate. They were going to beat the Broncos anyway. Lower scoring than I thought it would be.
I mean, yeah, Denver fought. I mean, well, their defense fought. So,
yeah.
Didn't Surtain have a pick? Surtain had a pick, I think.
Yeah,
probably. I mean, he's their only good player. So,
hey, is he a future Steeler? Pat Surtain?
He's a future something. That's all I know.
we already have a ton of young CBs though, but I mean, I wouldn't mind them. But
dude, Pat Surtain, he's like the best.
Exactly, Pat Surtain.
You guys got Pat Surtain, you'd be like, well, he's gonna have to prove that he should be played above.
Exactly. Yeah, no, Mike Tomlin. Okay, you sit on the sideline the first 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
We don't care how good you are.
Yeah.
God.
Let's see. Ravens beat the Titans. Texans beat the Saints. Commanders beat the Falcons.
Glad I picked that one.
Colts again. Shocker. Bengals won. Vikings beat the Bears. Browns beat the Niners.
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
I don't know. What do you guys think is the bigger surprise, though? The Browns over the 49ers or the Jets over the Eagles?
Browns over Niners. Actually,
Browns. Yeah, I'd say Browns. I mean, Jets had a decent enough defense, even though they were without their whole like secondary. But they played the Eagles well. But the Browns is way more shocking because the Browns had a third string QB in there.
I don't care how you feel about Cleveland. That defense is, and I know we just got over. You guys know how I feel about the Steelers defense versus the Browns defense, but that defense is almost as good as anybody.
Oh yeah, I knew as soon as they got Schwartz, I'm like, okay, their defense might be nice, and then they went out and got Darius Smith, and they got what's his name? He has a real funny name, Okoronkwo, as their third string edge rusher. Like that's just insane edge depth. And then they have, of course, Denzel Ward and a young
beast.
Yeah, but yeah, the Browns. I was expecting the Browns defense to look good, but I don't think I was expecting them to look this good. Like they look great right now.
I'm glad that the my take about Brock Purdy being a product of his environment is really paying off right now, because as soon as CMC goes out and whoever else gets injured, there was another big name, and it's slipping my mind right now, but Purdy didn't look that good. Trent Williams. Yeah.
Also, I saw a stat. I think Nat might have sent it in the GC. I think it was Kyle Shanahan is like 1-8 versus Jim Schwartz now. I think like anytime. Yeah. So Jim Schwartz is the Kyle Shanahan kryptonite. So yeah, like that was an interesting stat. So yeah.
All right, what else we got?
What else? Detroit won. I'm going over the games that don't really focus on our teams. Well, I guess Josh snapped, even though he can't be here. His Lions
got his 5-1 Detroit Lions.
That's just
juggernauts.
They're so good.
I love it.
The 5-1 Detroit Lions and the 1-5 New England Patriots. I don't know what kind of alternate reality I fell into.
Never thought
I don't want to stay here.
And the
What else?
Steelers are still 3-2, so
Yeah. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
the same old Steelers,
Hey, but stand up Detroit, though. Detroit,
Yeah.
stand up.
Detroit
They
stand
deserve that.
3-0.
They are good. Rams won. We went over the Jets. Bills got the Sunday night win. Cowboys Monday night. All that's left, Panthers or Patriots. Luke, who wants to go first? I'll be really brief, but
We're both gonna sound like a broken record, but go ahead.
me?
Should I pop my feet up?
I was about to say the same thing.
I'll be brief. I'm kind of proud of the Panthers this week. I know we lost 42-21.
Yeah, actually, you should be. I didn't even think about it. You should be.
When you go up against a team like the Dolphins, who beat the Broncos 70-20, who I don't even know if I can call them a better team than us. I guess they are, but
I don't know.
You'd think we would have been like another 70-20 game. And the fact that we lost 42-21 and actually held a 14-0 lead to start, pretty encouraging. Bryce Young, this was by far his best game yet. He didn't throw an interception. He either had 200 yards passing or came really close. Adam Thielen, once again, got really involved. He's our clear-cut wide receiver one. He's looking really good.
He's been crazy.
He's been a monster.
I know, dude. He's been a fantasy monster.
He has been a fantasy
He's
monster.
like an elite fantasy company right now. Adam Thielen. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Been an absolute monster.
I know. I would have thought he would have been like the nice compliment to like a DJ Chark or a Jonathan Mingo, but it's been the Young and Thielen show so far. Yeah. Chuba Hubbard got himself involved too, with Miles Sanders down. Kind of had to get a lot of the carries there. Our defense, I mean, until we kind of collapsed and give up all those points, was playing fine, given all the injuries we have right now. And like I was saying earlier, Jeremy Chin now out 6 weeks. That's brutal in two ways. One, he can't play until week 13, and two, that probably means we can't trade him. I don't see anyone wanting to trade for someone who's going to be out 6 weeks.
And he's a free agent.
Yes, that too, the free agent. So we're now running the risk of losing him for absolutely nothing, which sucks. Honestly, I mean, I wouldn't want to trade someone like Jeremy Chin, but if it meant that versus losing him for nothing in free agency, I'm taking trading him, of course. But like I just said, I mean, we have a bye this week. It's week 7. If you're going to miss at least 6 weeks, that means you come back at the earliest week 13. And whether it's week 13 or 14 or week 12 for another team, I don't know what team's going to want to trade the 3rd, 4th round pick for that. So we probably just lost our chance to trade him. And honestly, I hate to say it, we might have to trade Brian Burns. It's looking like he's going to walk. If you can I saw a trade proposal today that said we can get a 1st round pick from the Rams. If we can do that, honestly, I'm all in. Last year, we could have gotten two 1st round picks. We're not going to get 2 first round picks now. If we can get one this year, spectacular. Go for it. I'd love to select somebody at least in the 1st round. You know, it's going to suck probably watching us win 2 games max maybe and have our pick be number 1 or number 2. There's a really big scenario or a really good chance the Bears have the top 2 picks in the draft. And one of them is ours. And say we trade Brian Burns to the Rams and their pick is in the mid-teens or something, or closer to number 20. It's going to suck having 2 to 3 wins and picking 20th in the draft, but
it's still a 1st rounder.
At least it's that versus starting in round 2 or something like that. So honestly, I sell off as much as you can sell off at this point.
Hopefully Burns to the Rams doesn't happen before Sunday.
Oh,
yeah. All right. I'll give it that. If it's gonna happen, let it happen after this Sunday, so you guys don't have to face him.
Dude, yeah. I love Brian Burns.
It's definitely a tough situation for the Panthers right now, and Adam, I totally agree with you. with you not having a first round pick, and if you guys go like 2-15, like at that point, you need something. So maybe letting off Burns is going to be the right decision, because now, yeah, Chin, it seems like that ship may have sailed,
Yeah.
and you might just it might just be a full clean house there in Carolina. It feels.
Honestly. And I mean, I'm fine with whatever we do. If we trade Brian Burns, like I've said, the biggest and most aggravating thing is Scott Fitterer's lack of choice of what he wants to do with Brian Burns, whether that's trade him or keep him. He doesn't know what he wants to do, and it's driving Brian Burns further and further from wanting to stay here. I've said for a while, if you keep him, fine. If you trade him, fine. But pick one, like, please. Or else you're going to be losing him for nothing. That's what's going to happen. And I would have been just as mad if we lose Jeremy Chin for nothing. If we lose Brian Burns for nothing, that is going to suck bad.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know he's gone, like, honestly, trade deadline's October 31st. Talk to him like October 29th and say, be honest with us. Right now, are you going to want to resign here? And if he says no, trade him. Just get him out of here. Get something while you still can.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, that's really all I got to say. It's bye week, and I couldn't be happier. I don't have to watch this team this week. Thank God.
Matt, Canada still lost to the bye week this week, if you guys didn't see on Twitter.
We lost to the bye week. We're 0-7 somehow.
Adam, what was your whenever I saw it, I was like in jubilation. But whenever you saw it, what was going through your head whenever you saw the Panthers go up 14-0?
I was like on cloud 50.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way we're actually going to be.
Dante, do you want to hear what I said in the group chat when that happened?
Yeah,
I forget.
What'd you say?
I was like, Miami's just giving them a 14-point head start.
Yeah, that's right.
And then after that, you see what happened.
I agreed, because I was like, wow, this is amazing. But I'm like, this is definitely too good to be true. Like,
I got the script, boys. Don't worry.
I was just waiting for them to blow it, which it happened, and I was.
I felt so mean texting that, but I'm like,
no,
okay, yeah, no, there's no way this holds.
Luke and I,
one play, Tyreek Hill, 80-yard bomb, touchdown, incoming.
We were in one of our clubs. Someone in there knows I'm a Panthers fan, and he was saying that Panthers hats are definitely on sale right now. Like, more than 50% gotta be.
I think the whole Carolina Panthers facility is up for sale right now.
We're lucky nothing's happened to it. Like, the Chicago Bears got robbed of all their whatever by those people.
Also, if you guys want to see how much of an evil genius Mike McDaniels is, just go on Next Gen Stats and look at Tyreek Hill's route tree. Look at all the routes he ran. It's literally squigglies across the board, dude. Like, he just don't run routes. He just runs to get open.
They run the screw it. Tyreek Hill's down there somewhere. Just get Tyreek Hill the ball and get out of the way.
But like, yeah, everyone's saying they're the new greatest show on turf right now. They got the speed. They got everything right now. It seems, and now you've got Jalen Ramsey coming back into the equation.
Yeah, that's insane. I thought he was going to be out till like November, December.
Yeah, they said like he might not be back till December, and then now he's back in mid-October.
Bryce Harper of the NFL in terms of recovery.
What did he got in Achilles, right?
Ramsey? Yeah, I think.
They probably did the same thing to him like they did to Rodgers. I bet you. I bet they did the same thing.
Yeah.
The same type of surgery.
Well, Luke, you want to talk briefly? Your game was a lot closer than mine.
A lot closer, but one could say a lot uglier. Well, here's a point I'd like to make. Adam, you're talking about who you should and shouldn't trade and having to cope with that, but the fact that you can gain something from that. I can count on one hand the amount of players on our roster who are worth a 4th round pick or more. Matt Judon, Christian Gonzalez, David Andrews. Maybe the Bears would give us something for Kendrick Bourne. That's probably it. So you've heard from other people before the idea that we have no talent on our team, we have no skill. That was on full display this week. We would have almost won this game if Mac Jones, if Devontae Parker. So it was let me paint the picture. Fourth quarter, a minute and a half left. We are on our own 6-yard line or something, down by 2, 19-17. It was third down, third and whatever. We're on our own 8-yard line. Mac Jones delivers a perfect 30-yard pass to the sideline outside the numbers on to Devontae Parker, who's double teamed. If he caught it and gained an extra 5 yards on the fall, we would have almost been to midfield. 2 more plays were in field goal range and we win the game. I'm not complimenting Mac Jones here because there's nothing else to compliment him about. But that was maybe one of the best passes he's thrown in his career. And Devontae Parker dropped it. It was literally in his hands. So unfortunately, they didn't leave him behind. The bus picked him up at the end of the day. That made me pretty sad. But Mac Jones then took a safety and we lost the game by 4. So now we are worsening our under 500 record against Josh McDaniels. And to make matters worse, we didn't lose to Jimmy G. We lost to Brian frickin' Hoyer.
Oh,
and
jeez, yeah.
You know, who I have nothing against. But it's just such we may be I know, Adam, you guys are winless, but it feels like week in and week out, we're just the worst team in the league. And I don't know what kind of switch flipped after we lost to whoever it was we lost to that was our last competitive game. Or I guess it was when we beat the Jets, then we just decided to stop trying. Because we've lost like 100-20 since then. So all I can say is that I would love to be a fly on the wall in the Patriots offices right now, listening into all those conversations between Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick about who's to blame and who is to go and what has to change and what can change, or if they're even talking about any of that at all. Because this is the result of a multi-year problem of failure to surround anybody within those walls with talent. Terrible coaching choices. It's not all Bill Belichick. It's not all Bill Belichick's fault. I don't think you can fire him. I think you can take I said this last week. I think you should take the picking personnel rights away from him for the time being. Actually bring in a GM. But there's not much that can change because we're stuck all the way at the bottom. We don't have anybody to trade. We don't have anybody healthy. Somehow we have JC Jackson back. Jack Jones is going to be back. All I can say is that I just pray. We're in a little bit of a similar situation within the Steelers because I have the same kind of mindset that you guys have right now about JPJ and Broderick Jones. I want to, and I love this guy. I want to bench Juju and bench Devontae Parker, who I don't love, and let Kayshon Boutte and who's the other person I'm thinking of?
Tyquan Thornton.
And Tyquan Thornton and Kendrick Bourne see action. And I'm not even sure Tyquan Thornton's healthy, but he's never been. I just let the young players see some action. We're going to be 1-7 because we play the Bills and the Dolphins. So the season's a lost cause. Week in and week out, every single week we record, I just keep saying I can't believe it's gotten to this point. There have been multiple winnable games. The first 2 games of the season, we could have won both of them. But, now we're right about the worst team in the league, just about the worst quarterback in the league. And we're definitely in the worst future situation in the league. So not much to smile about, but
Luke, at least Juju's leg is still intact. There's that.
At least Juju's leg hasn't exploded, so good for him.
Oppenheimer knee.
Yeah, his Oppenheimer knee hasn't exploded, but like I said, I would feel pretty bad for him, but maybe it would help us if it did, just so we could get the young guys in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't mean that, but
yeah, my thoughts on it. I totally agree with playing the young guys, especially when you're 1-5. Like, you need to see what you have in the building right now that you can maybe be like, okay, maybe they could be part of our future. So I
Oh,
totally agree.
and not to interrupt you, but get Malik
no,
Cunningham
you're
in the
good.
playbook as much as possible. Snaps a
Mhm.
QB, snaps a wide receiver, QB draws. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Get Malik
Heck,
Cunningham on the
and
field as much as possible.
put Bailey Zappi out there, even see what you got in him.
You
Like,
could, but I'd play Malik
Yeah.
Cunningham for him. Bailey Zappi.
yeah, or yeah, you guys have Malik Cunningham too. Yeah, but
Yeah, you have to let him see the field as much as
what
possible.
I'm
If
seeing
nothing
with
else, just give the fans something
Yeah.
to cheer about.
what I'm seeing with New England is, and I've said this sometimes about the Steelers, you can only do the same thing for so long until it just doesn't work anymore. And that's what New England has done. They run pretty much like the Steelers did. They're pretty old school when it comes to player personnel and all that. And just with Belichick there and everything, like, it's been a great run, but I think this is just, you need to swallow the pill here and be like, that this is that's over with. We need to turn the page and start new. And that's what I think Patriot fans should hopefully be admitting here, and I hope the organization knows that too.
Yeah, and as if things couldn't get worse, I saw a tweet that today at practice we had a combined 20 did not plays and limited participations.
Oh, jeez.
We've got the injury bug worse than almost anybody else, and it's not like it even matters at this point, but we don't even get to see our best players out there every week, so it is what it is.
After this year, Luke, what do you think they should do? Like, as soon as the off season starts, what is the list of things that need to get
If
done?
I had to do 3 things, and I'm going to go bold here, none of these things are going to happen, but I'm going to go as bold as I need to be. I would call up whoever gets the number 1 pick and offer them anything that they want. I would offer them a blank check. We could come shovel their driveways every single winter, whatever they want. Get Caleb Williams if you can, or Drake May. I'd be happy with Drake May. Take the personnel decisions away from Bill Belichick. He's not going to be in charge of the draft. He can be in the room. He can have some opinions, but he's not going to be the one with the final say because he has repeatedly failed again and again to draft in the upper rounds. Mac Jones is going to continue the trend of first-round picks we don't give second contracts to. The last first-round pick we gave a second contract to, I don't know. It's been like 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer. It's been back to when Tom Brady was here. I can tell you that much. And number 3, I guess find some talent. You have to. Ramondre Stevenson is fine. Ezekiel Elliott has been the heart of the team so far, but so our run game is fine. Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki are fine. They don't do much blocking, but that's fine, especially Mike Gesicki. Trade him if you want to. That's not really the end of the world, but we have to have somebody to throw to. Kendrick Bourne is good, but he's like T. Higgins. He's more like Tyler Boyd, really. He's a high end. He's a high end wide receiver 3, low end wide receiver 2 kind of guy. We should have signed Deshaun Watson when we had the chance. We should have. We shouldn't have drafted. Drafting Christian Gonzalez was good, but we should have gotten some talent this year.
Brought in Hopkins when you had the chance, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know why this is coming up again. I don't know if you guys have seen this on Instagram, but Bleacher Report felt it necessary again today to post the clip from some podcast of AJ Brown saying that he cried when the Patriots took N'Keal Harry over him. Yeah, so did I, buddy. These are the things that happened that, maybe you didn't feel the effect of that immediately, but years down the line, we're just failing to produce anything worth watching. All over the field, it's just trash. So I don't know what that third thing I would do would be. Would just generally talent in the building.
The third one, you need a bona fide stud wide receiver. Bring out the Brinks truck for him, I'd say. If a guy you think that is a number 1 wide receiver or you think can be a number 1 wide receiver, go get him.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy, we should have traded for him, but whatever. It's okay. Now that we are like almost an hour into this freaking episode. Let's finally get to the next week's games, so our viewers can finally be like, "Geez, these guys already got on with it."
You want me to?
Am I gonna be part of the predictions this week?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course you are.
Oh God, I got pressure. Jeez. All right.
Luke, do you
Here we
want me
go.
to do a 50-second speed run of this week's fantasy leaders?
Sure, why not?
Have your time. Take your time for that. That doesn't taking an extra minute for that.
I'll go quickly. Tied at the honorable mention with 19.9 points, Jalen Hurts and Michael Pittman Jr. 15th with 20 points, Stephon Diggs. 14th, 20.1 points, A.J. Brown. 13th, 20.3, Breece Hall. 12th, 21.4, Travis Kelce. 11th, tied with 21.5, Keenan Allen, Drake London. 10th, 21.8. Sorry he's hurt, Niche. I feel bad for you. Kyron Williams.
It's cool. It's cool. I got depth in that league that I have him in. So.
He's not playing the Steelers this week. So
there you go. That's a plus. 9th with 22.42, Jared Goff. 8th with 22.48. Get used to hearing this team a lot. Tua. 7th with 23.3, Travis Etienne Jr. 6th, 24.88, Dak Prescott. 5th, 27.8, Cooper Kupp. Steelers fans, I wish you all the best of luck guarding that man this week. 4th, 28.3, Tyreek Hill. 3rd, 28.5, Adam Thielen. Let's go. 2nd, 30.4, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And this week's winner with 34.2. Who else but Raheem Mostert?
You see it? See him?
hold on.
Yeah.
When you have him, Travis Etienne, and Kyron Williams on one team.
My sweet king Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra has been great too.
And I also on that team too. I'm stacked in that league. Keenan, NBA Central. Stop. Keenan, baby.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
NBA Central.
I just traded for
Shout out
Jalen
NBA
Waddle this
Central.
week, fellas. Traded for Jalen Waddle. So
It's a dub.
see how that turns out for me.
Waddle. Yeah.
All right. Shall we kick off the week 7 picks?
Let's go.
Before we
Jesus.
begin,
I feel the pressure.
Yeah, teams on a bye this week. We got 6 teams on bye. Bengals, Cowboys, Titans, Jets, Panthers, and Texans.
It's by Mageddon and
Thank goodness.
fantasy this week.
Right.
Thank goodness it's Panthers bye week. That's all I'm gonna say. But first
No
game.
teams on bye next week though. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Jaguars and Saints Thursday night football. It has been reported Trevor Lawrence is questionable for this game officially. Leaning toward playing, I think, but questionable. I'm kind of torn. I don't know who to pick for this one. Do you guys know what you're going with?
I have an idea, but I won't go first.
Go first.
One of you guys can go first because I'm not sure.
Dante, go first. You let me go first. I'll let you go first this time.
I'm taking Jacksonville,
Right.
regardless if T-Law plays or not.
Actually, yeah, I do know who I'm taking.
Go ahead.
I'm taking Jacksonville as well. Maybe I would have been confident enough to pick the Saints had they beaten the Texans last week when I put some faith into them, but they didn't. So they haven't earned my pick.
That was my logic too.
I'll go. Yeah, this is tough for me because it's 2 teams with offenses that haven't really performed up to expectations. And now I was going to go Jacksonville, but this T-Law, he's not going to be 100% even if he plays. I think, you know what? I'm gonna go bold here. I'm gonna say the Saints win. I'm gonna go with the Saints at their home field. Even with T-Law not 100%, I think that plays a factor, and I think the Saints score enough points to win.
It's definitely possible.
Nichie, I agree with you. I'm going with the Saints as well.
Saints, me and
Taking a
Ian
bold
Adam on the Saints wagon. Let's go.
Luke.
Dante?
Let's go.
Derek Carr, the legacy game.
Yes, I like Derek Carr a lot, even though he's in my division. I like him a lot.
I do
Y'all-
too.
Yeah, I love the guy, but
I think he's good, but I just think the play calling there is just holding them back. Like I don't know who's calling the plays. I think they have a bad OC there too, like Matt Canada material bad. So
Maybe not that far, but
it's close.
yeah, I'm sure it is. But
Yeah.
All right. Falcons and Buccaneers, we're starting the 1 p.m. slate. Another kind of close one, I guess. Divisional matchup.
I'm gonna go Buccaneers.
All right.
Desmond Ridder does not look good passing the ball at all. So
that is indeed my Super Bowl right now. Desmond Ridder downfall. I am going to be going with the Buccaneers as well. For that reason.
Adam, lock me in for the Bucs.
Clean sweep, Luke?
Me 4.
All right.
Buccaneers across the board.
They're going to be looking for a bounce back.
Yeah.
Especially.
They're at home too, so they'll
Can
be
they
fine.
wear the Kareemsicles again? Those were awesome.
I know they need to just make those primary uniforms.
I'm in the creamsicles are a bit overrated camp, but
that's fair.
It is fun. It is fun to see NFL teams even trying to wear uniforms.
Yo, Dante, a vintage Tampa Bay Bucks old logo shirt. Now that would be fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Personally, I think the best throwbacks in the league right now are Seattle's. Those are so sick.
Oh yeah, I know which ones you're talking about. Yeah.
With the big Seahawk on the sleeve.
I think the best ones are
Pat the Patriot. Is it it's the Pat the Patriot? Yeah.
Ones?
Those are like top 3. I do agree.
Only crazy, Luke.
The helmet.
That's a sick helmet. Makes it. Jersey, kind of overrated. I'm just saying.
The jersey's just okay, but
I think Miami has great throwbacks. I love Miami's throwbacks that they wear. Those ones.
Eagles always have good throwbacks. Falcons have good throwbacks.
Bring back the Steelers Bumblebee jerseys. Bring them back.
I was saying that the other day. They need to come back.
Bro, them socks. The socks make the jersey.
Yeah.
A better throwback would be the 3D numbers with the big Patriot on the shoulders that Ty Law wore.
Oh, the Drew Bledsoe era. Oh my god. Don't get me started.
Those are like
I've been looking for like
all time.
I've been looking for like a royal blue Drew Bledsoe huge logos jersey for so long.
That's like my favorite NFL jersey ever. I love it.
Nobody talks about them because the Pat Patriot jerseys exist, but
those are amazing.
So good. So good. Those Drew Bledsoe 90s eras. Oh, so good.
Then there's me. We've had the same thing, but hey, we've got those processes.
If you get it right, don't change it.
I love the Panthers jersey.
I do too, honestly.
And then the Rams throwbacks too. Those are undefeated.
Look at me started.
That year that was their permanent home jersey. Oh,
what the blue and the yellow?
Yeah, with the helmets. Oh, the helmets were sick. Yeah. Oh,
beautiful.
Those jerseys are lovely.
All right. Shall we move on? We have the Raiders and the Bears. Is Justin Fields out for this game? I think he's out for this game.
Yes, he's doubtful.
So, with that reason, also because they've been on a roll lately, I will be going with the Las Vegas Raiders, which I did see an interesting stat the other day. It's obviously more now, but when I saw the stat, it said everyone was talking about how the Bears almost went a whole year without a win. Apparently, they have not won a home game at the time, it was 385 days. Their last home win was week 3 of last season against the Houston Texans, and they barely won that game. They won it by like a field goal. So,
and the one game they're at what, 2 wins right now?
1 win with
one win that was on the road, so they still don't have that home win.
Right. If they didn't win that game last year at home, their most recent home win would have been that week 1 game against the Niners in the pouring rain. Mm-hmm. That's just crazy, but the streak's going to continue. This Raiders team, they're on a 2-game win streak right now, I think, at least 2. I think Jimmy G's fine, but honestly,
are we sure?
I don't know. Even if they play Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell, I'm taking that over Nathan Peterman.
I think they should play O'Connell to be completely honest.
I need an Aiden O'Connell versus Trace McSorley game.
Battle of the Big Ten greats, Penn State and Purdue.
With that being said, give me the Raiders no matter who plays the quarterback because Brian Hoyer just beat us. So
Yeah, I when I heard the two teams playing, I threw up in my mouth hearing the two teams, but it's the Raiders. No matter who's at QB, they're playing the Bears. They could win 9-6. And, yeah.
Raiders are looking a little bit underrated. They might mess around and get second in that division.
Yeah, they're actually looking kind of. I mean, Max Crosby's an absolute animal.
If
I'm taking him over Myles Garrett.
If Chandler Jones was sane, that team would be absurd.
Yeah.
Chandler Jones,
but no, they've actually looked decent. And they've hit like the worst stretch of their schedule right now at the right time. It feels so.
Yeah.
Chandler Jones, like
greatest, as Chris Berman would say.
Chandler Jones stiff-armed Mac Jones to the earth and then just lost his mind.
I was gonna say, speaking of Chandler Jones, he got arrested again. I heard. I don't know why this.
ENAB.
And Buda Baker said, "Lose my number."
Yeah.
He did it. Aaron Rodgers do him. Lose my number.
However, I'm not surprised because we are talking about the Las Vegas Raiders, and like their fans, the players also get arrested rather often. I.e., Antonio Brown, former Raider, who just got arrested this past week.
And I don't need to say
business is booming.
I don't need to talk about the other wide receiver. We all know what happened. We'll just leave it at that.
Before I make my pick, I want to apologize to Eagles fans for disrespecting their Kelly Green throwback uniforms.
Oh yeah, the Kelly Greens too.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're wearing them this Sunday night.
Who are they? They're playing Miami.
Go Birds.
But
that city's just in a frenzy right now. They have that. Thank God, I will say, Philly would be an absolute madhouse if there was a game at the bank on Sunday night. But even
it's it's a decent city. I was there last summer with my friends. It's a good city. And the sports complex they have there, literally the three stadiums like right next to each other's great. Like that is great. Whatever happened to make that happen, that was great.
Well, I was gonna say, no matter what, no matter if the NLCS is over or if they're going back to Philly for Game 6, there's no game on Sunday. Which, if you're asking me, the series will likely be over by then. But
I agree, Adam.
I'm gonna be humble here. Anyway, Dante, Raiders.
Well, let me just say, I am gonna take the Raiders, by the way.
Okay.
But if Justin Fields was playing, I was gonna take the Bears. But now I see that Jason Bagent,
something like that.
They've apparently hyped him up a little bit. They think he's
break. Give me a break. He's gonna Max Crosby's gonna break his leg. TBH. But yeah, give me the Raiders.
All right. Clean sweep.
Raiders need to back up the Brinks truck for Max Crosby if they haven't already. Like that dude deserves a bag and a half.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. This next game's an interesting one. Cleveland and Indianapolis. No Anthony Richardson for the rest of the year. We know that. But no Deshaun Watson likely this week again.
That's right.
But they just knocked off the 49ers with they had Panthers legend PJ Walker in there. That's an interesting one.
Colts so it's PJ Walker versus Gardner Minshew. Oh,
likely. Okay. Or unless they go with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. But I mean, PJ Walker just beat the Niners. Why wouldn't you give him another start?
I think the Niners beat themselves. Personally,
no, I know. I totally agree with that.
Make Moody,
man. A little bit of both.
They need to bring back Robbie Gould. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a legend.
I want to see what you guys are going with first.
I know who I'm going with.
Start us off because I don't know.
I'm taking the Browns.
Yeah, I'm Browns too. That defense right now is hot, and that's going to keep them in games and then probably win them games. So,
Luke, you look like you're still thinking about it. Do you want me
Browns.
to?
I'm going Browns too. I just honestly didn't expect Dante or Nichie on the Browns, but I guess it makes sense. It's just the right pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cleveland as well.
Colts are frisky, they're fun, but I think Gardner Minshew is making one too many mistakes a game.
So, I mean, the Colts did beat a better team in the Ravens with Gardner Minshew. So
yeah,
on the road, but we'll see.
That Browns defense.
The Ravens and the Browns just win their games in completely different ways, though. It's just the Colts. They could win. Where is it at?
It's in
Indy.
Adam, who'd you pick?
I picked the
Browns. You picked the Browns.
I screw it. Change my pick. In
You
Indy,
Oh.
I'll go Indianapolis.
That the upset of the week for you right there. Is it an upset? I don't know.
Probably
I guess
not.
I mean, if Gardner Minshew doesn't make the mistakes, I think that Cleveland being on the road, it doesn't do them any. Obviously, it doesn't do them any favors. There's a chance that Gardner Minshew just doesn't make the mistakes that he normally makes, and Amari Cooper doesn't haul in 2 or 3 insane catches that keep them in the game, and Jerome Ford doesn't score 2 touchdowns, and so we'll see. Like you said, the Colts sometimes win games that they're not supposed to win, so we'll see.
All right. Commanders and Giants. Real banger there. So excited.
Are both QBs healthy? Is Daniel Jones healthy now?
And Giants fans would say, unfortunately, Daniel Jones is healthy.
I was just gonna say it doesn't matter.
I'm taking the Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders for me as well.
Yeah. All right, lock that in for the Commanders.
Dante, you sure?
Yeah, give me the commies.
Commies.
Nap's gonna love that one.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Nap, our next game is the Lions and the Ravens in Baltimore. That's actually going to be a really good game.
Give me the Lions.
Okay.
This is a game where I think this game's low scoring. I think this is low scoring. It's just feeling in my gut.
I say Lions.
I'm having a difficult time
Give
picking
me the
this because I
Lions
feel
17-10.
I know who I'm going to pick if you guys are having trouble.
the Lions are hot, but I'm gonna go off the board. I hate saying this because I'm a serious fan of the AFC North, but I think Baltimore pulls one out. I'm gonna go Baltimore.
Luke,
I'm
you
so
were-
sorry now, but I just feel like this is a Baltimore type game where their defense has been better than expected, and I think their defense comes out to play.
I'm going to go Detroit. I'm somewhere in the middle between you guys. I think Baltimore could win this game, but I also don't think it's going to be that low scoring. I think that it'll be a good game. But I trust not Daniel Jones. Right now, I trust Jared Goff more than I trust Lamar Jackson. So off of that alone, give me the Lions. And might I say, I trust Dan Campbell more than I trust Harbaugh. So why not Detroit? Let's ride.
Mm-hmm.
I am also riding with the Lions train in this one.
Okay.
But hey, I know I very well could be wrong. This is a very close pick. This is probably the closest Lions pick we've had since week 2 with Seattle. Definitely. Because since then they've played like the Panthers, the Packers, the Bucks. Forget who else they played. I'm missing somebody else. No, not the Vikings. I don't know. You get what I mean. But yeah, I'm going Lions. Anyway, Luke, you want to preview the Pats game? Not willingly. You're not looking very excited.
Don't take your kids to this game. Don't let them watch this game. It's
Well,
I'm not even sure I'm gonna watch more than half of it. I can't pick us this week. Sorry.
I'm gonna put this plain and simple. Miami boat races New England. Literally boat races New England.
And we could have beaten them week 2. We could have beaten them week 2. But we didn't. We just didn't capitalize on our opportunity.
You guys are playing the Bills, not the Dolphins.
I was gonna say I thought so, but then again,
crap! I don't know why I thought y'all played the Dolphins.
Oh,
you heard what I said. But don't bring your kids to this game. Don't let your kids watch this game.
Well, still,
Bills. Maybe you noticed. I didn't
Bills.
mention who I was picking. I just said I wasn't picking us because I forgot if it was the Bills or the Dolphins. But it doesn't matter. You can mark me down as picking our opponent for the next 2 weeks and on. But Bills or Dolphins. If it's the Bills this week, Bills by 50. If it's the Dolphins, Dolphins by 70.
Dante, are you going with the Buffalo Bills?
Yes.
So gross. I would have even maybe picked us to beat the Bills after week 2 or week 3, but not anymore.
I mean,
That's tough.
the Bills did only put up 19 points against the Giants.
Yeah, the Bills are vulnerable. They're not perfect. But
let me ask this question, Luke. What would you do if the Patriots win this game? How excited?
I'm asking the very tough question. Do you even want them to win this game?
Sure, yeah. I think it would be hilarious if we won this game.
Right.
It would be
for tanking purposes. If the tank option was alive,
we're not going to finish with the worst record in the league. I don't think so. So I don't think we would have to trade for the best pick to get it anyways. So I don't really mind if we win a couple games here and there. It would be hilarious if we won this game. But once I got over that, and once I got over the sheer shock of it, then I would start to think about, well, that's one more game. We're going to be out of a good pick. That's, we're not. I would start to be insufferable. I'd pick us against the Dolphins, and I'd say we're going to catch the Jets. So you don't need that to happen. We're not going to win this game anyways. So I think we all agree, right?
Yeah, Bills.
Okay. Bills in a boat race.
I don't know. Foxborough could be buzzing.
Another close one.
Foxborough was a great environment, but Tom Brady night, and we didn't win that game, so nothing really changes that.
Adam, my apologies.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I was gonna say we have another really close game here with the Seahawks hosting the Cardinals. So,
yeah, Seahawks.
Seahawks.
The Seabirds.
The Seabirds, not the Ratbirds. The Seabirds.
Luke,
Seabirds.
are you picking the Seahawks?
Pick Arizona.
Think about that.
To my one friend that is a Seahawks fan that was kind of surprised I picked the Bengals last week. I won't be picking against Seattle this week. But hey, I was right last week with that pick. For the second week in a row.
I mean, Arizona got great news today. Buda Baker and Kyler Murray are on their way
Josh
back.
Dobbs did not get great news today.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs' jersey will not be in the team store much longer, possibly.
Hey, props to Josh Dobbs. Stepped in and played well.
Yeah, no, Dobbs has played great. Like, yeah. The Cardinals were playing good, but it feels like they're coming back down to earth.
Not like Geno Smith level. But unfortunately we're not going to be hearing Josh Dobbs say they wrote me off. I didn't write back though anytime soon. That would be fun. And
but when Kyler comes back, and
the Broncos.
If they commit to Kyler, I'd keep Dobbs around as a backup there for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, they paid Kyler, so they have to. But I would love the Broncos after this year to trade for Kyler, and then Josh Dobbs lead the Cardinals in the playoffs.
Give me one second.
Steelers legend Josh Dobbs.
I'll be right back. I'm not grabbing anything. I just got to go for like 2 seconds.
Steelers legend Josh Dobbs.
2-1.
Yeah, where's Dante?
While Dante's gone, Nichie, did you see the New York Knicks waived 2 players?
Oh, we're getting off topic now. Yeah, I mean,
that's fair.
Isaiah Roby, I mean, he showed some things, but that backup 4, it's honestly probably going to be Josh Hart that plays that backup 4 a lot. Or, hey, he played good for us. Like, Luke, I know you hate him, but I'd welcome him back with open arms. Like, as a backup 4, I'd love Marcus Morris to come back.
It says here, making room for a Marcus Morris return.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be in the worst, but they're going to – Tibbs has said they're comfortable with Josh Hart as a backup 4. So, he can do that. And, they said RJ2 could be a backup 4, which, I don't know. I hope if he gets better on the defense, it could be like that. But, yeah, but
I was going to say,
Roby,
yeah,
I'd like Jalen Martin, but once again, he's so raw still and so young. And yeah, I don't think he's in our plans right now. But Isaiah Roby, I mean, you could have just took him to the G League, I mean, and called him up if you really needed him. But
I was gonna say Hart at the 4 is not ridiculous. I mean, Lou Dort,
and that's what a ton of teams are doing right now. Is just running a ton of guards, and Tibbs loves his guards that can defend.
Like I said, Lou Dort is 6'3", and he's played the 4 for the Thunder. So
exactly, yeah. It seems like that's where the league's going to, even though it does seem a bit weird. Like that does seem like where the league's going. Like guys that can guard 2 through 4.
Yeah. Anyway, Dante has returned, so we can return to the NFL game. And here we go. Steelers and Rams. Let's make the prediction. We'll let the Steelers fans go first.
Who's going first? Me?
Yeah,
I can go first, or Nichie.
I feel like this is going to be a grind out game again. It's tough. Like the biggest thing in this game is containing Cooper Kupp and Puka. How the Steelers, because there's no way you're going to take them out of the game. They're still going to get theirs. It just matters how much you can limit what they do. But if there's a game to get pressure from the Steelers' defensive line, this is the game. Because you cannot let Matt Stafford stand in there 10 years and let Cooper Kupp and Puka cook you. So the pass rush and the run defense too needs to be on an all-time high, even with the Rams RBs out, because they're still going to want to run the ball, I feel. And it just matters that this offense can get up enough points. And the Rams defense has actually been performing kind of well right now. But I think the Steelers go into SoFi, grind one out, and pull it out by the skin of their teeth, like 16-13.
Damn, Niche. I thought you were gonna pick against us.
No, as much as I want to in my body, I can't, bro. I'm sorry.
He won't, but I will. I am going with LA this week. I agree with you, Niche. I think if the Steelers do win, it'll be a grinded out, narrow victory. But I think that LA's offense is a little too good for that, and I just don't see the Steelers winning this game. The Steelers win those type of games against those types of teams. They beat the Ravens, they beat the Browns, and
the Raiders.
And the Raiders. All non-flashy, put your hands on the ground and run at each other type of teams. The Rams are not that type of team. They are throw it over your head, run it past you. Similar to the Dolphins, I think, just not that good. But I think that this is a bad matchup for Pittsburgh. Even though these are two teams that should be an entertaining game, I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be able to survive their mistakes in this one. I'll just put it that way.
Fonte, you or me?
You go.
All right. I'm sorry, boys. I am joining Luke and going with the LA Rams in this one. Although I think it'll be a close and exciting game. Like Niche said, a real, fight to the end. My big thing is the Rams defense is also just really good with Aaron Donald leading that unit.
Who else? Who else do they have?
Well,
who else do they have? Akello Witherspoon?
Who's actually been balling. Him and Kevin Dotson have actually been playing well.
Akello has been good. But who else?
My other thing is
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey's Dolphin.
Von Miller. Just kidding.
The receivers. That's my other thing.
Wagner.
I think they'll have a big game.
Right.
So
yeah, the offense is gonna.
It could be like a 23-20 game, something like that.
But the thing is, though, this game it's going to be like 70% Steeler fans in that stadium. You already know it's going to be a Steelers takeover at SoFi.
But here's another percent. I do think this game is going to be 70% like Rams time of possession.
Fair.
There's going to be a lot of 4-and-outs in this game.
And if that happens, the Steelers may still find a way to win. That's
because the Steelers are going to inevitably have an 8-minute fourth quarter drive. They always do.
Mhm.
And they're either going to turn it over at the end, or win. So we'll see.
The
But
Steelers
Dante-
play like Derrick Henry. They don't do that well the
Yes,
first 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter that's when they show it.
That's a good comparison for a few reasons. So Dante, the floor is yours.
First of all, before I go into the spiel, I'm taking my Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game.
As I figured.
And I'm just gonna name some of the players outside of Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and Aaron Donald. For reference, Kieran Williams, who's not playing, Tutu Atwell, Tyler Higbee, solid. Then their offensive line, which is mid, Jonah Williams, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Ernest Jones, Christian Rooseboom, Michael Hecht, Darian Kendrick, Jordan Fuller, Rust Yeast.
Goated name, by the way, Russ Yeast. If there's like a name list for the NFL, great name, awesome name.
And finally, Kobe Durant. Kobe
Durant is a great name.
The thing is, like, their defense
Durant
is sick.
I gotta
that
say,
is a great name.
I said before the season, I'm like, the Rams are gonna have to try to score a crap ton of points because after Aaron Donald, like, I know absolutely no one on that defense, but their defense has actually been playing kind of well.
I'm just saying they don't have any big stars besides AD.
Hey.
Exactly, yeah.
Dante, don't forget Panthers legend Royce Freeman.
Royce Freeman, how could I forget? I'm gonna ask my parents for a Russ Yeast jersey for Christmas, but because that was sick. But yeah, give me the Steelers. The Steelers are always very good coming off a bye week, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We know what the
7-2 last year.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And if you look at Matthew Stafford's performances throughout the season, his worst games come whenever he's under a lot of pressure. And you know what the Steelers always bring. You know the three certainties in life: death, taxes, and the Steelers are going to have a good pass rush. Therefore, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game and improve to 4-2 on the year. Regain the first place spot in the AFC North.
I want to see that defensive line eat this game because if you need pressure this game against those 2 wide receivers, like I want to see Keanu Benton have a game. Watt, I know is going to have a game. I don't even need to establish that. Highsmith to have a game. Those guys, I need to see them making life difficult for Matt Stafford because that's how they're going to win this game.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's definitely.
I'm probably going to be wrong, but I got to
Yeah. Just have Trump saying his thing wrong, like from on Sunday at like 7:30. Wrong.
Yeah. By the way, first 4 p.m. game for the Steelers in a long, long time.
Oh yeah, too. Yeah, Geez, yeah, we haven't played at 4 in a while.
I think we had one last year, and it was against the Bengals. But anyway.
Yeah.
Next game, let's do it.
Chargers and Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Probably game of the week here, or no, Miami and Philly.
I'm gonna hop on this real quick because the Chargers, I picked you against the Cowboys and did not come through for me. So I am sure as hell not going to pick you against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I gotta go Chiefs here too.
Yeah. This is. I feel like I feel like this is every game with the Chiefs, but this is going to be a vintage Mahomes Kelsey game. I think Kelsey eats. I think he scores at least 1 touchdown this game. I got the Chiefs.
Hold up. Evan Longoria just retired?
No, I'm kidding. Did you not?
Oh, I was about to say.
Big report.
That's so funny. I was like, what?
Get off your phone, Dante. Make a pick. Jeez.
I said the Chiefs, so that's crazy. I fell for that. MLB on facts. What is wrong with me?
Read it, Dante. Read the report, though.
Oh, my God. That's crazy. Breaking. Evan Longoria has notified the Diamondbacks he's retiring. Multiple sources tell Fax News. He's the first MLB to end his career in the middle of the LCS. Pardon my French, I'm such a fucking dumbass. I'm so sorry for that. That is so
I will be honest. I genuinely thought it was real when I read it at first, but I was like, I gotta send it.
Facts news.
I feel so
That's really
stupid.
funny.
That's incredible. Anyway, we're gonna move away from that.
Wait, Dante, you didn't make your pick, or did you?
I said the Chiefs.
Oh, okay. All
How
right.
about the even hotter take? Nichie says Kelsey may get 1 touchdown. That he's never done that before.
I said at least one touchdown.
That's like saying Kyle Pitts may not score.
Yeah. Well,
Although
no,
he did this week.
I mean, Kelsey's been great, but I feel like he's due for that big game. He just goes off, and I think this is the game.
I still feel like an idiot, but all right. Next game, let's go.
Sorry, I just saw my order for something is being shipped, so got excited. Anyway,
Yes.
Green Bay, Denver. Speaking of getting excited, Green Bay and Denver.
Sorry, I just freaking choked on my drink.
Super Bowl rematch.
This feels like a trap game for Green Bay, low-key. This feels like a trap game.
It's weird to say a trap game for a 2-win team, but
yeah.
I don't know.
The way that Denver's been playing, I'm still gonna go Green Bay though.
I'm gonna go Green Bay. I'm not gonna overthink this one.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, give me Green Bay.
Maybe if Denver had a likable coach, I'd be willing to pick them for an upset once every
Maybe if Denver would not just suck.
Yeah, maybe if they do anything remotely likable, I'd be willing to pick them for an upset once or twice. But unfortunately, we don't live in that kind of world. So
honestly, I will be truthful. Denver hurting my feelings in the Super Bowl and not making the playoffs since is my Super Bowl. So
yeah,
that it's fine. Even we've made the playoffs since then. One time we lost a wild card game. I was very upset that day, but it's fine.
The only thing that the Denver's fans have to look forward to is a new Peyton Manning nationwide commercial every 3 weeks or however often. That recent one about
tastes so good.
That recent one about I don't like your hat. I like that one. That's funny.
That did give me a chuckle when he said, "I don't like your hat."
I don't laugh out loud at that one. I do the I blow some air out of my nose. I'm like, that's a funny one.
Yeah, classic. Yeah.
So Peyton Manning can have that, but the Denver Broncos can't have anything right now.
Green Bay across the board for all of us here.
Yeah,
I think so. Even though Green Bay has been a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
I just still can't believe Dante with the Evan Longoria. The first comment on that post just said he's going to join the Dodgers for the Cancun NLCS.
I'd love to see like a setup for that, like a baseball field, a baseball stadium in Cancun. How that look?
Hey, if you follow MLB on Facts, they are covering the Cancun NLCS. The Braves took a 2-1 lead last night.
I just saw Jeff Passan tweet about it last night. Yeah.
Oh, Jeff Passan.
Josh Knapp's favorite MLB analyst.
I still can't believe that. Like what did he say? Like I just want to know what he said.
Nobody wants.
Probably doxed him.
Anyway, let's go to Sunday Night Football. Dolphins.
Here we go.
Game of the week.
Dolphins here.
I'm not going first because I have to think about this. This is tough.
I know who I'm going with. If you want me to, I'm going with the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh.
In a close game on the road. I think the Eagles are going to play much better this week, but I think Miami's going to upset all those people who are excited about the Kelly Green game. I'll be honest, Philly, say they lose this game, they got enough to cheer about right now. They got a baseball team who's about to go to the World Series. They got a still semi-good basketball team. Their hockey team sucks, but their football team will still be fine. Miami's going to win this game. That's my prediction.
I can go next if you want me to.
Yeah, go next. I'll go after you, Luke. So
I'll disagree. I'm going to pick the Eagles.
Okay.
This is a close game. It could go either way, but I keep the opinion that, excuse me, the Dolphins are a more unserious team. They, excuse me, geez, they rely on just being able to run past everyone, which has worked very well for them. Don't get me wrong, but the Eagles are I think they're just more. This game is like, no offense, this game is like if the Steelers and the Rams were both just incredible. Like the Rams did everything on a Super Bowl level, and the Steelers' defense was on a Super Bowl level, and Kenny Pickett was left-handed. This game is going to be great, but I do think that the Eagles are suited to shut down the Dolphins. I think if you can lock down their wide receivers and if you can defend the run, that's all the Eagles got, or that's all the Dolphins got. I know Jalen Ramsey is back and practicing. I don't know if he's going to be back this week. I don't think it'd make much of a difference.
I don't think he's back. No, I think they said he's already out this week. So
not quite this week. The Dolphins are going to have to defend the run just as much as the Eagles are, and hopefully it comes down to a brotherly shove and the Eagles pick up a 4th and 1 in a field goal range and they beat the Dolphins. That's what I would love to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. I thought about it, but I'm going to take Philly here. The biggest part of my decision is because the Dolphins, they've been great against teams they should beat, but when they're up against their match, like for example, the game they played against the Bills dominated them, ran them off the field, and the Eagles are probably one of the best, if not the best team in the NFC. So the Miami's gonna have a match. They're gonna have to stop the run, stop the tush push. I feel like the Eagles and they just lost last week. They're going to be hungry. They're going to want to get that bad taste out of their mouth. And until I'm proven otherwise that Miami can beat that type of caliber of team, I'm going to choose against them, and I'm going to go Philly on Kelly Green night.
Dante, where are we going with it?
I'm going to agree with you, Adam. Give me Miami.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yep.
Luke, Philly.
One's on my
Philly.
side.
All right, yeah.
Fins
Should be
up,
fun.
Dante.
Ends up, baby. Let's go.
It's just another thing is if you
Fins
look
up.
at the
Fins up.
fly Eagles fly, I guess. If you look at
Fly Eagles fly.
if you look at the combined record for all of the Dolphins' opponents so far, it's terrible. I'm not going to do the math right here in front of you, but I saw a tweet about this. It's like 5-20 or something. And I'm a big believer in just beat who you play. You can't blame a team for that, but there is something to be said about for the Dolphins, this being their first real test, other than you could say Buffalo, but that's a division rival. Some people are going to say this could be a Super Bowl matchup, and I just don't think the Dolphins are equipped to beat the Eagles, but I could be absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Like
I said, until I'm proven that they can beat that type of team, I'm using the Bills game as an example and saying they can't beat those type of, I haven't seen them beat those type of teams yet. So
let me put it this way instead. I think it's not that I don't think the Dolphins can beat the Eagles. I think the Eagles can beat the Dolphins.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. That being perhaps the most interesting game this week. How many games are even left? I know there's quite a few buys this week.
We got to finish off with the Monday night thriller. 49ers and Vikings.
Niners.
Kirk Cousins versus Kirk Cousins, honestly.
Give me
real.
Yeah, give me the Niners. I think Kirk tries his hardest, and they can make it may be close for a little bit, but I think the 49ers just run away with it. And yeah, too much firepower. Even if CMC don't play, give me Niners.
Yep.
Niners, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, the adopted 49ers fan, go ahead.
Oh.
I said Niners. Or hold on.
Yeah, we got to
think about this one long and hard.
No, wait a minute. Niners.
Yeah.
Easy.
Hot take.
Yeah, I'll go Niners as well. It's way too early for overreacting to that loss last week.
They'll be just fine. They're making the Super Bowl. Niners, Lions, NFC Championship. You heard it.
Oh my God.
Nap would be out of his mind.
Which team beat the Eagles there?
I'd say Eagles.
I don't even want to think what Nap would do if the Lions are in the
Our
NFC
friend who's a
Championship,
Lions
have a chance
fan,
to go to the
Nap.
Super Bowl.
Well, that's a long way away, boys. Week 6. This episode has been fun.
Yep.
This is week
Dante,
7.
I guess week 7. Yeah, Dante, do you have good, bad, and mid?
I do.
I didn't forget that good, bad, and mid.
Good, bad, and mid. Good. Cooper Cup against the Steelers. I think it's going to be a similar game to our game against the Raiders. Going to give up we give up a ton of yards to Devontae Adams. We're going to give up a ton of yards to Cooper Cup. But as I mentioned before, I do think we're going to win the game. Bad. The entire Chicago Bears 53-man roster is going to be bad. And then
I add the entire New England Patriots 50-man.
Yeah, I was about to say you could say New England too.
I knew if you weren't going to say that, I was going to say it.
Yeah, that's fair. And for mid, I will go with Daniel Jones is going to be mid against the Commanders. Not really any hot takes there, but
I feel like that's a compliment to him. But then again, the Commanders aren't contenders, so
true.
But hey, they just paid him, so they don't think he's mid. So they have to live with that. Oh,
they didn't at the moment.
40 million.
oh man.
I don't know if I've said it before in the show, but I said it to somebody I was talking. Actually, I said it to a Giants fan that I was talking to. I was like, no offense here, but the one bright spot from this Patriots season, and from the fact that we haven't given any second contracts to a first round pick in a very long time, is that we still haven't paid Mac Jones. We're not tied to him. You know, if he continues to play like he does, he can go be the backup in the XFL or so. I don't care. We're not tied to him. We haven't paid him. Not like Kyler, not like Daniel Jones, not like freaking Russell Wilson. Oh my God, what a disaster. So it always could be worse. Not much worse, but it always could be worse.
What's a worse commitment, Russ or Daniel Jones?
Ooh.
They might they're probably equally as bad,
I'd say Daniel Jones.
That every time I come up with an answer, the other answer begins to rationalize even more. That's really
It's tough for me. I'd say Russ though. That was a ton of money.
I want to say Russ, but every single time I think that, but Daniel Jones.
I know Daniel Jones comes, but they are both equally horribly bad. But I'm gonna just say Russ because
I'm gonna say Russ because if you look at when those guys got paid,
and go ahead.
If the Broncos didn't get Russell Wilson, what could they have done? They didn't just make the playoffs. They could have just tanked and drafted the best available. I don't know who would have been Justin Fields or even I don't know who would have been that year. But the Giants, they had just made the playoffs. You know, how are you going to start over when you just made the playoffs? You don't want to give that guy a blank check, but they didn't pay him 45. They paid him 40. You know, that's terrible also, but it wasn't as foolish as what Denver did. So
yeah, I was about to say Denver traded for Russell Wilson. We'll say that,
and then paid him before he played a snap.
Paid him and gave Seattle a first round pick, which ended up being a top 5 pick. So I feel like that it's Russ.
And to be fair, Daniel Jones did win a playoff game. I don't know if you guys probably already mentioned that.
Yeah, not only made, but they won a playoff. They won a playoff game. So
exactly, yeah.
That's foolish. It looks as bad, but it was less foolish.
Yeah.
It was more understandable at the time. I don't know about less foolish.
At least Daniel Jones earned his contract before he got it. The Broncos, Russ still, I think, had like 2 years left on his deal, and the Broncos just added on that money before he even played.
And in Daniel Jones's defense, the Giants' offensive line has been awful. Like Evan Neal has forgot how to be an offensive lineman. Like
it's the same thing every year with them, dude. That's the reason Saquon hasn't really blossomed into what it could be. It goes back to their offensive line, and the Giants' O-line isn't good.
And their best one, Andrew Thomas, he's been hurt all year.
I mean, Saquon has blossomed, but it's why they can't make use of him consistently.
Yeah. I mean, not until I guess. And
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Not like elite, like Nick Chubb level, you know? You know what I mean?
It could be the best player in the NFL on a team that knew how to use him.
Yeah, true.
So, all right, I believe that's just about all on the slate for today. Unless I'm missing anything.
Yeah.
Big thanks to Niche for joining us.
Thank you, my
Yeah,
friend.
thank you guys for having me on. Always look
Anytime.
forward to
Anytime.
coming on it. Hey, next week if you want to do it, I'm all ears. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nap will probably be available next week. Y'all can come back.
Yeah,
on.
yeah, especially if Nap. Yeah, it makes sense for me and Nap to both come on too. So yeah.
And I quote him. He texted me and he said, "I'm absolutely okay to debut next week, though, considering everything will have mostly cleared up by then." So
Okay. So yeah,
he'll be all
let's
game
do
next
it.
week.
Teaser, me and that spoiling the surprise next week. Me and that.
We'll have to see.
Hey, go Steelers, go Pats, go Lions, go Phillies,
Go Knicks!
go Knicks, go Thunder, go Clippers.
Go Pens, baby. Let's go.
Oh yeah, go
Pens.
Pens! Eric
Go
Carlson, let's go! Woo!
All right.
Great take for
That's
hockey.
it.
Always is.
All right, boys. Go Ohio State, go Penn State, I guess, this week.
Can't have it both ways, baby. I just heard you say go Penn State, so let's go Penn State.
Hey,
I hope both teams have fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Drew Aller Masterclass. Let's go.
Kenny Pickett legacy game.
Hopefully, yeah.
Sure.
I didn't
All
say
right.
I'm trying to stay positive. Okay.
Drew
okay.
Aller, future New England Patriot.
Drew Aller, future Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's go. Drew Aller, future backup to Kenny Pickett. Let's go.
Sean Clifford, future starter.
Pittsburgh's going to burn if they go to a Penn State QB over a Pitt QB.
Oh yeah, real.
I just love how
There's
Pitt.
going to be riots in the city.
Yeah.
The whole city's going to burn.
The one thing that is going to return Pitt to relevance is a former Penn State quarterback. How poetic is that?
There are. It already happened. It already happened. Christian.
Bro, okay, first off, it was not his fault that Penn State wanted to go with Drew Aller. I'm going to clear that up. It was not his fault. And second off, so be it. So be it.
Real. Yeah.
Hey, 3 things: death, taxes, and Pat Narduzzi beating a top 25 team, no matter how bad it's going.
All right. Anyway,
somehow find a way. All right, boys. When we see you next, Penn State will be still unbeaten. So
top 3 team in top 3 in the
road to 7-0, Adam. Stairway to 7. Let's go. Anyway, all right. See you guys.
See y'all, boys.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.